Welcome to our summer series, and again, I'm so incredibly excited to share Leslie with you. Leslie is here. We are going to do, this might be my very favorite episode because I have wanted a water feature on my back porch since we bought the house, and I thought it was impossible until I met Leslie, and she's like, are you kidding? We can do that in no time at all. So the exciting thing was I already had one of the pieces because all she needed were 2 pots. And when we bought the property, this metal, it's like a witch's brew kind of pot. It's huge, but it had big cracks in it. And I used it to plant flowers in. And she's like, no, let's use that. So tell me what we did, because again, it had big cracks in it.
It did. So water features are one of my absolute favorite things to make. So I'm super excited to be here to do this. So what we did is we took something called waterfall foam, which we have over here. And we sprayed it in the cracks, and we let it sit for 24 hours to cure. So what
that's this big foam.
That's this big foam. So what that does is, you can see it. It goes through. I'm just going to turn this so you can see. It goes through and fills the cracks. Yeah. And that's it to make it watertight. Yeah. So we're going to scrape off the excess because it doesn't really look the prettiest. And then we're going to get going.
Get going, all right. So what things first of all, before we scrape it off, what did we need?
So what we needed was the waterfall foam to fix the crack in the pot. I'm using a secondary pot to go under to lift our main pot up. So we wanted the pretty pot to be up top. So the kind of fountain we're going for is a tiered look. So we're going to have this big pot sitting in this. The water's going to come up through this pump, which we needed, this tubing, which we needed, and come out and make a little bell fountain, which is another piece we needed, and then drip over the side. Okay. And it's just going to make the perfect amount of noise for Ruth because that's what she wanted.
That's what I wanted, was the noise. And here's what I love. You don't have to keep refilling it. It uses the same water the whole time. So, okay, walk us through this. How do we cut this off?
So what we're going to do is I'm honestly just going to take scissors. Okay. You don't want to cut too much off because you don't want to pull it because that'll pull what you had filled, if that makes sense. So we're just going to go and literally cut through this. So I'm just cutting behind it, and then it's going to come off in clumps like that.
That's literally like foam.
Yeah. But I build koi ponds. And this is what you use when you're going behind a waterfall to make sure that the water's not leaking out. Here we go. Have a little piece.
I went and saw her koi pond at home at her house, and I mean, huge koi.
Absolutely. I've had some for 10 years. So we want to make sure we're leaving the seal. So we have a little seal break, but that's okay because we have something to help with that too.
What I love is she said anyone can do this. All you need are 2 pots.
Anybody. Anybody can do it. So the next thing we're going to do is get it into place because if we built this here and then try to move it into place, it'd be kind of heavy. So
we predetermined we wanted it kind of snug back in this little garden area.
So we're going to rotate this side forward. Other side that way a little bit, and then we're gonna just bring it gently back. There we go. And I kind of want that like this little bit at an angle. I just want to make sure you're not seeing too much. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our prop pot. Okay. So our prop pot is this one right here. I kind of just picked one that was going to be a similar color. That way it would be kind of hidden. And then we're going to put it in the bottom like this.
Upside down.
Upside down. Now, we just kind of want to make sure that this stays level. Okay. So we have some of these rocks to place underneath. So now that you have your prop pot and your regular pot, we're going to put the next pot in.
And you don't have to put any of these in them yet?
Nope. So we are going to go ahead and use the prop pot for that instead. Okay. So this pot has a hole right here.
And all what I learned yesterday is all these big pots either have the hole on the bottom or on the side.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna gently turn this.
Okay.
So it's just sitting nicely on the prop pot. And then I'm gonna have you tuck some more stones under this guy so he stays upright.
Like in the front?
In the front and the back, if you don't want to see them. All right, here we go. Just want to make sure it's not too precarious. Oh, nice.
I just need to move.
All right, so the next step that we're gonna do is I bought this pump on Amazon.
And what would people look at?
You're just gonna look up just a water feature pump. I tried to make sure one had enough head pressure that it was really going to be making a lot of noise, because I know that's what really mattered to you.
Well, I just wanted to hear water, like you're living near a stream.
So we did a 450 gallons per hour pump, because we're going to have to pump that water up this skinny tube and have it come out.
Okay.
So it comes with all of these fittings, and you just place a barb into this and screw it in. Then you're going to take your pipe, and then you're going to take this and you're going to wiggle it on. So usually you need to get a little bit of pressure going, and you want it to be tight. So I just kind of wiggle it back and forth so it goes over the barb. See?
See, it's completely attached.
Now, if you have a hose that's a teeny bit too big, you can use a ring clamp.
Okay.
Which is something that you would put on here. It'd be a little metal ring, and then you would just tighten it.
Okay, I know
so
exactly what you're
tighten around.
talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
But it's better to have less pieces going. So we've got this. We've got this.
Yep.
We're going to take this, and we're going to stick it in the big pot.
Where's the hole? Oh,
We're going to run the tube up the hole.
Okay, which is over here.
Which is over there.
How far do I put it in?
I'm going to put it all the way in.
Like this.
Yeah, keep going. All right, so we want to make sure that the hose isn't kinked at all.
Okay.
So over here, you can see this is sitting towards the bottom.
That's
and that hose,
the green thing.
the pump is sitting towards the bottom. The hose is coming up, and it's not bent anywhere. That's what we mean by kink.
Okay.
So you see we've got some excess.
Right.
Too much hose is better than too little hose. Absolutely. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go around the hose with some Gorilla Tape. So that's going to create a little bit of a seal that will hold the water tight. And Gorilla Tape is waterproof, but it is not fish safe. So if you're working with a koi pond, honestly, goldfish can live through anything. But if you wanted to put some more tender fish in here, you wouldn't want to use this product. They do make, Firestone makes the same product, which you can use. That's fish safe.
So you're doing that one.
Yeah, so we're gonna just peel the backing off like this, and we're gonna go around the hose.
Okay. On the inside or outside?
So we're gonna do it on the inside.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we put it around the hose initially, then we're gonna wiggle it till it makes kind of a taut seal, and then I'm gonna go around the outside and press it on. So there we go. Now water won't escape that way.
Okay.
The next thing we're gonna do is gonna fill this guy
With rock.
with rock. The reason we're gonna do that is so this stays in place.
Okay.
It'll also help this become a little more stable.
Okay.
So usually we're gonna give this a little rinse because it's a little dirty.
It's really dirty compared to the other bags.
I know.
So these are just pea pebbles that we got at Home Depot,
Yeah.
I think. I think Bob picked those up last time.
And one of the best ways to clean a bag is to create a hole at the top. Take something,
I was wondering how you were
stab
going to
a
do
few
this.
holes down there,
Oh, that's brilliant.
and then the muddy water will just come out. All right, and I had Bob get the
one that looks
the tan
natural.
one.
Yeah.
All right, now these ones are much cleaner, so we should be good.
Especially on the left.
Yeah.
Now, can any kind of pots work in this?
Any kind of pot that has a hole.
Okay.
So you want to make sure your bottom one does not have a hole. If it does have a hole,
You're gonna
use the foam, use
But this
the
pot
tape.
just needs a hole.
That pot needs a hole.
And we had kind of gone back and forth. Do we want this pot leaning over it so it was more like a waterfall into this?
Yeah.
And I think we opted, obviously we opted for this.
All right.
Got it.
Yeah.
When I went to visit Leslie at her home, and what is it that it's called that you're creating?
Arboretum.
An arboretum. She's creating an arboretum all over her property. And she's received national awards for some of her gardens. And she had a number of water features, so it was fun to see things finish.
So a funny story about that is that when I was about 10 years old, I asked my mom if I could build a water feature. She said, sure. She handed me a shovel. I went out, I dug all day, all night, and got a 3-foot by 3-foot hole.
Did you really?
I come out the next day and she planted a tree in it.
Did she really?
She did, because she thought I'd be over it in one day.
One day.
So then, many years later, when I was 25, I decided I was going to build a pond. And nobody believed that I was going to actually do it. And that koi pond that is on my property, I dug by hand in 3 days.
And it's got, you know, layers and layers of beautiful stone. It's gorgeous. When her husband was here yesterday, he gave me her nickname. He said her nickname is Lofty Leslie because there is nothing she isn't willing to try.
Lofty go Leslie, absolutely. All right. The next piece we're going to put in is your bell fountain.
Is the bell fountain. Okay.
Now, one of the reasons I love to use this is because you can pull it out or push it in, and that will create the fountain shape,
Okay.
which therefore will help you with what noise you get to hear. So we're going to go in and see, we kind of want it to be here. So I'm going to just take some rock away from the top. We're going to go in and give it a cut. I'm going to go a little higher just because. There we go. We're going to stick this in there. And now we can push this down through the pipe. But let's see what it does here. And then when we find a spot that we like, we'll just put a little Gorilla Tape around it.
Okay. Do you want me plugging anything in yet?
So first we have to fill it.
Okay.
So you want to fill it with water because you don't want your pump to dry run because
okay.
that'll run the motor out.
Where do you want me to put the water?
So the water is going to go actually in the bottom because then it's going to come up through here.
Okay.
And that will help stabilize the bottom as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Now, even though it's a little muddy water,
Yep.
a little bit, the sediment will fall.
The sediment will fall.
Okay.
And I'm going to suggest to you
Yeah.
a great product to use that basically will turn this whole thing into a filter.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, that should be good. And then we're going to fill this guy up.
Okay. All right, the water has reached the stones.
Perfect. So we have a little bit coming out of here, but it'll work, and then we're going to taper from the outside later. Okay. All right, so now that we have our wonderful muddy mess.
By the way, what filters it so it's clear?
So there's a product called Microbe Lift, which is a beneficial bacteria. So what that does is it's going to coat all of your stones with that bacteria that will cause everything to kind of settle out for you. Yep. But if you were having a party and you needed this to be clean now because you decided, like, something I've done is build a last-minute fountain right before your wedding, and you need it to be clean. So actually, you would take this out a little, spray it, and run the whole system through. And then, do you want to do the honors of plugging it in?
I do. Where's the plug?
So the plug is right here. There you go.
Thank you so much for watching, and if you like what you're watching, make sure you subscribe. Thank you, my friend.
Oh my gosh, of course.
I'm telling you, try this on your porch.
1 hour.
Amazing. 1 hour.
Yeah.
Thank you.